press. It was a press statement, and when the chairman was saying that he was flanked by the state executives and also the leaders of different affiliates of NLC Rivers State.
I condemn that statement. It is not. It is antisocial. It is non-palatable at all. It's inappropriate, non-apposite. It is a statement capable to cause serious disunity. And at what point? And at what point? In fact, let us even look at it. If you say the judgment must be reversed, who are you? Who are you? Are you forcing the court? Or are you threatening the judge? Do you know that threatening a judge amounts to threatening the judiciary? And once you threaten the judiciary, you are threatening the government of the nation. So, at that point, the chairman of the NLC, I'll tell you as a lawyer, ought to reverse his statement. In fact, in other words, I would expect that he appealed to the governor. In fact, what they're supposed to do is to mediate now. Is to mediate. Because as a pressure group, what they ought to do is to see that the right thing is done. They are a creation of a law. And then they cannot be a creation of the law on one hand and be the destroyer of a law on the other hand. Whose ultimate interests are they playing? Nobody is saying Governor Fubara is not the governor of Rivers State. It's not correct. At least for now, it's not correct. It is still the governor of Rivers State. So it is expected of the Nigerian Labour Congress to appeal to the governor. What we are talking about is the law. It's not emotion. I said there are, in fact, with this crisis have created the court of emotion and the court of law. So you have a lot of people grandstanding, people who play to the gallery, people whose emotion have deceived them. They are run by their emotions. The law does not run on emotion. If you say somebody have, because you and me are close, and say, you see, somebody took my girlfriend, and I expect you because you are close to me to give me judgment, and I cannot bring proper proof. The law is, if you give me judgment, and that judgment I feel that is not following, that you have not laid your facts and your evidence, I will appeal. On appeal, they will charge the judgment. Now, in this case, when they charge the judgment, you say, it's that kind of judgment. Why will you give that kind of a judgment? It is not in the interest of a singular individual to tell a judge or the judiciary that they must reverse the judgment. Is it a child's play? This is a democracy for
But then NLC Rivers State has made that statement and was categorical and emphatic, very, very emphatic about it. Now, to a large extent, we are looking at different affiliates now taking that stand, because that's not the NLC chairman speaking. It is NLC Rivers State.
Can I make a more clearer observation?
Go ahead.
I have also heard that, lest I forget, I've also heard that the Nigerian Labour Congress is, tries to compare when the judgment was, let us say the truth. They say if you say the truth, you will die. If you don't say the truth, you will still die. So why don't you say the truth? Let us see. Of course, from my unit, from my ward, and then to my local government. I was part of it. At least I'm a leader in my unit. I'm a stakeholder in my unit.
PDP?
Yes.
LMN local government.
Exactly.
All right, go ahead.
So, at the point when people begin to own the governor, these are people who didn't like the governor. They were not members of the PDP, and so they wanted, obviously, their party member, their governorship candidate to win this election. Obviously, they are the same people today. We don't want to, look at the issues more critically, analyze them, and come to a logical conclusion. They are running by emotion. And that's why the governor is making mistakes. Because let me tell you, in 2002, withhold allocation for democratically elected local government administration of the state, and as well the states. and asked the federal government to pay the state what they were owing them because it was not constitutional. That is not the same case with this judgment.
All right. So what's the difference?
The difference is that the governor have breached section 120 and 121 that says you cannot present budget to less than 24 members or no more than 40. The governor purportedly presented the appropriation bill of the 32 constituencies to 4 persons. And let me tell you, Rivers people must understand, I'm not partisan. I am speaking the law. If you drag our mind back of this year, there was no issue of contention of speakership of Martin Amewule and 27. There was no issue. As at when Martin Amewule and the 27 suspended a year Edison, Okojumbo, Sokari Goodboy, Martin Amewule was still known as the Speaker of Rivers State Assembly.
And that suspension was not challenged.
And that suspension was not challenged by a year Edison, Sokari Goodboy, Okojumbo.
But the argument now is that these people defected, and by the reason of their defection, if they do not, let me correct you. The Rivers State House.
Listen. Let me correct you. As at when these people were suspended, note
they were suspended by a legitimate house.
Crisis in the state. So at that point, the governor ought to hold himself. You see, when there are crises, if you are not careful, you will take wrong sides. The governor was overwhelmed by too much emotions, ethnicity sentiments, immature thoughts. A lot of things came into his mind. People used that opportunity to trample on the governor so that he could, do their bidding. Some people saw it as an opportunity to advance their political interest. And so he forced the governor, who is a young politician, okay, to dampen into their hands. And that's where this issue is coming from.
Now, in your opinion, you feel that NLC is enabling the governor to not obey the Constitution?
Their action,
are they enablers of lawlessness?
Their action will show that they are pressuring or persuading the governor to continue to disobey the rule of law. And they must be careful, because their actions will amount to criminal responsibility. And in criminal responsibility, I want to say it again, criminal responsibility is not usually against a group of people. It is impersonal. You should ask his lawyer. It is impersonal. Personal. It is not in realm. It's not in the... No, they don't gather Nigeria has committed stealing. There are nothing like, you can't file that kind of a case. You file so person.
In your opinion, what is the way forward at this point? A lot of people have proposed political solution. But do you think political solution will be successful at this point, considering some of the statements of the governor? One of the things he has said in recent times was that he was ambushed by the Peace Pact, and all of that. Now, there is, even if, let's say, okay, there is a possibility for political solution, will that happen when there is no more trust?
See, let me also tell you, people should not just, people who say, oh, this one is against Fubara. It is not correct. It is a battle for survival of rule of law and democracy.
Development, like the governor is saying that governance is going on. However, the crisis in Rivers State is not letting the people see or notice that he's actually working.
So who are the originating? Who are the people originating the crisis? Of course, he's a principal actor in the crisis. If there's a crisis, he's a principal actor. So at this point, why don't he call the shot and say, see, where it is now, please, can we review what we are doing?
From his body language, do you see that possibility?
I'm not a fan of rumor, but I've also, you know, there are rumors going around that the governor is trying to beg people who mobilize for him. The governor was not known. Let me make it clear. The local government chairman, we, and others who are behind us, the governor has offended people who brought him to power. And so it is the action of the governor it has done that has got a lot of people angry. Let me tell you, let the governor not be deceived. People who are singing praise or simplify is because of the things the small things they get
for themselves. If you watch, those fan base is reducing.
Why do you say it's reducing?
It's reducing because
how so?
Some people are getting to know the real truth. Some people are already perceiving the to end. They want to be caught in the way.
So they don't want to be as vocal as they used to be anymore.
They have reduced their visibility, and they are beginning to review their action. So there is some 2 steps backward and just standing
on one leg.
So, you know, I can't even see one leg.
Could that inform the decision of Pandef?
Yes.
Envisaging where this is going.
You see, the thing is, elder statesman chief is somebody that to respect to me. You know, but that's how I've had it. People who are saying now people are minority becoming governor of Rivers State. This by the perseverance and influence of the FCT minister have not produced a governor. Element local government have not produced a governor. Despite our huge economic contribution. If we want to go by economic contribution, we should be giving the opportunity to the governor. Yes, we have qualified people to be governor. I can be a governor. Anybody can be a governor who is qualified to be a governor. But we are not giving the FCT minister persuade party faithfuls to allow His Excellency to become the governor of Rivers State. I think that biblically, when somebody have assisted you, it is God's directive that you should be grateful to the person. But beyond being grateful, my concern is for governor to obey the provisions of the constitution.
Now, talking about the governor obeying the provisions of the constitution. Now, the commissioner. Maybe.
Let me even ask some questions to the general public. Can 3 members or 4, as we call it, can it constitute a proper House of Assembly? One question. In the case of that PA against Diaplonk, where the court made clear that on no ground that a significant number of the member of the House of Assembly should carry out a business on behalf of the state.
Is it Joshua Dariye?
Yes, they didn't play along.
Yeah. Plateau State.
Plateau State.
All right. Go ahead.
Now, number 2. Where has the governor been spending Rivers State money? On which authorization? On which House of Assembly's authorization has Rivers State governor been spending Rivers State money from? Is he a lawyer? Is he a lawyer? If he's a lawyer, has he averted his mind to the provisions of this constitution? What does he make of the judgments of the court? What do they make of the judgment of the Court of Appeal? What do they make of the judgment of the Federal High Court that they have an appeal from? And the court saying that present your budget to the well-constituted and recognized House of Assembly, it is
seconds.
Your Excellency, I would advise you to be a man by doing the right thing. Rivers State is in dire need of peace. There's no peace in the state. Once there is no peace, there is no development. People are afraid to come to the state to invest because they are uncertain about what their investment will become.
All right.
They are product of the law. I advise you to follow the law. And the law is what the court have stated, and that is what the law is. And so that's democracy. That's where we stand. Whatever the court says, that's where we stand, until it is set aside for peace to reign. That's my humble advice. And I want to finally tell Rivers people, we should avoid the issue of jumping into conclusion with bad emotions.
Right.
For people who are not lawyers, allow lawyers to look at the issues and interpret them.
And this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Open Conversation. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials: Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network; Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1; and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Ogu Laurentia. Transition News comes up